Hey there, Trailblazers. I hope you guys are all doing well. So, if you're looking to plan out your stellar Jade savings, you're in the right place. Today, we'll be covering all of the upcoming character banners from version 4.5 all the way to version 5.0, along with some potential reruns. But before we get started, just a quick reminder that everything discussed here is based on early information and speculation. So nothing is officially confirmed yet, and things can still change before these patches actually go live. With that out of the way, let's jump right into it. Starting off with version 4.5, and this patch is honestly looking absolutely stacked. Kicking things off in Phase 1 is Robin Summeretto, the brand new Wind Remembrance version of Robin. Unlike the original Robin, this version revolves around summoning memo sprites that build toward a powerful fever state, creating a zone that buffs the entire team while dealing damage themselves. If her current beta kit remains similar, she could easily become one of the strongest remembrance supports in the game. What's especially interesting is that Hoyoverse doesn't seem to be treating Robin Summeretto as just another alternate version. Instead, her kit introduces an entirely different playstyle from the original Robin, which makes her feel like a completely new character rather than a simple upgrade. It'll definitely be interesting to see how she performs once players have had time to experiment with different remembrance teams. Then during Phase 2 we have Aventurin Waveflare. This alternate version transforms Aventurin into a quantum elation DPS focused on gambling mechanics, rapidly chaining extra turns through jackpot activations. Early impressions suggest he'll be one of the strongest elation DPS characters, while also fitting comfortably into follow-up attack teams. His gameplay also looks much more technical than the original Aventurin, rewarding players who can properly manage his jackpot mechanic to keep extending their turns. If the current beta information remains largely unchanged, he could end up becoming one of the most unique DPS characters released during the entire 4X series. Now, let's move on to the reruns. As for the reruns, we don't have any reliable leaks yet, so these are simply my own predictions. Starting with Phase 1, which could feature characters like Hyacinth, Evanesha, and Aglia. Hyacinth remains one of the strongest universal support characters in the game, and with leaks suggesting she'll be getting a new skin in version 4.5, a rerun would make perfect sense. Evanesha is still one of the strongest elation DPS characters currently available, and her rumored skin also makes a rerun seem very likely. Then there's Aglia, who could greatly benefit from Robin Summeretto becoming her new best-in-slot support, making her another strong rerun candidate. Moving on to Phase 2, which could feature characters like Ashvale, Acheron, and Jiaoqiu. Ashvale has incredible synergy with Aventurin Waveflare, so a rerun alongside him would make a lot of sense. Acheron has regained a lot of value thanks to Mortonak's Blade, making this another great opportunity for Hoyoverse to rerun her. Lastly, Jiaoqiu is also rumored to receive a Nova Flare buff in this patch, which could easily coincide with another rerun. Moving on to version 4.6, the only brand new character currently expected is Pearl. Pearl is currently rumored to be a wind elation support who provides different buffs depending on her teammates' paths while also being able to change her own path during battle. She reportedly has both healing and shielding capabilities, making her an incredibly flexible support that's expected to become a core member of future elation teams. If these mechanics remain unchanged, Pearl could end up becoming one of the most versatile support characters we've seen in quite some time. Rather than being locked into one specific team composition, her ability to adapt based on her allies could make her useful across a variety of different teams while still excelling in dedicated elation lineups. It'll definitely be interesting to see exactly how her path-switching mechanic works once gameplay starts appearing. Next up is version 4.7. This patch is expected to introduce Nihilix. Nihilix is currently rumored to be a quantum elation hypercarry focused on skill point management and speed scaling, and she's expected to become one of the premier DPS options for elation teams. What's particularly exciting is that she could end up being the character that finally brings the entire Elation archetype together. By this point, we'll already have supports like Robin Summeretto and Pearl, so adding another dedicated Elation hypercarry would make a lot of sense. If that's the direction Hoyoverse is taking, Elation teams could become one of the strongest archetypes in the game before the end of the 4X series. Then we move on to version 4.8. This is arguably one of the most exciting patches currently on the roadmap because it's expected to introduce the long-awaited Zenless Zone Zero collaboration. The collaboration characters are currently rumored to be Ellen Zhou and Astra Yao. While we still don't know their elements, paths, or complete kits, both are incredibly popular characters within Zenless Zone Zero, and it'll be really interesting to see how Hoyoverse adapts them into Honkai Star Rail's turn-based combat system. Considering how successful the Fate collaboration turned out, expectations for this crossover are already incredibly high. It'll also be interesting to see whether Hoyoverse gives these collaboration characters completely unique mechanics to help them stand out from the rest of the roster, just like we've seen with previous crossover events. Finally, let's talk about version 5.0. Although information is still fairly limited, version 5.0 is already shaping up to be one of the biggest updates in Honkai Star Rail's history. According to the latest roadmap leaks, the update is currently expected to introduce an entirely new playable path known as Finality. If this information ends up being accurate, it would mark another brand new playable path since Elation was introduced, potentially opening the door to an entirely new generation of team archetypes and combat mechanics. Alongside that, current speculation also points toward KAFKA SP and Firefly SP being the first major characters released during the 5X cycle. Very little is currently known about either SP characters kit, but like Robin Summeretto and Aventurin Wave Flare, they're expected to feature entirely new playstyles rather than simply being stronger versions of their originals. Some players also believe one or both could become the first Finality characters, helping introduce the new path if these leaks prove accurate. Another interesting thing to keep in mind is that Hoyoverse has a history of using major version updates to introduce brand new gameplay systems and mechanics. So if Finality really is the next playable path, version 5.0 would be the perfect opportunity to shake up the game's meta once again. Whether that happens through KAFKA SP, Firefly SP, or completely new characters introduced later in the update cycle, it'll definitely be one of the biggest things to keep an eye on over the coming months. Overall, the roadmap is looking incredibly exciting. If even some of these leaks end up being accurate, we're in for a lot of powerful new characters and some very tough Stellar Jade decisions. Of course, everything here is still subject to change, so we'll have to wait and see what actually makes it into the game. But let me know down in the comments which upcoming character you're planning to summon for the most. As always, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all the latest Honkai Star Rail leaks and updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.